Greetings, folks. This is Volt, and I have a special guest with me. I have Daniela Quick Learner, who wanted to join in and see how Daniela Reyes does in the Midnight Masks Drowned City edition.
Yeah, I kind of asked to join up because yeah, I've really enjoyed watching you do your playthroughs. Obviously, you were on my channel a few months ago with Dark Matter, and
Mhm.
I had nothing better to do tonight, so why not?
Works out perfectly. Well, all right. So I will quickly go through the upgrades for Daniela's deck from last time, and then we'll talk briefly about the setup that we're challenging, and then we'll jump right into it. Okay, so I have on screen the updates to the deck. We had 9 experience points, and what I've done here is largely upgraded and sort of rejiggered the soak. We've added, since from the limited card pool that we've added the level 1 Cherished Keepsake, the level 1 Leather Coat, for 4 soak of each. And frankly, with this short campaign, if these keep getting exiled and I keep buying them back, that's honestly like it's cheaper than having bought a bulletproof vest and an elder sign amulet or whatever it's called. And then we have 2 copies of Look What I Found Level 2, which I do think is perfect for Daniela going into the Midnight Masks, hopefully to help gathering clues. I do have Lita Chandler. Hopefully she will also add for the soak. Isolated is here as a means of allowing me to add Unrelenting and have Arkham Build not complain about it. I have taken 1 copy of Unrelenting because card draw is good. And finally, and this is the bit that I'm least certain about, but it's what we're going to try, I have put in a level 2 red Derringer because I feel like I need at least 1 more weapon, especially now that I know that my random basic weakness is also another enemy. And upgraded weapons in this card pool for Daniela is this and Chainsaw. And I don't want a 2-handed weapon because hopefully we'll have Crowbar, or I guess maybe Flashlight, but mainly Crowbar in the other hand. And what I've dropped the Rabbit's Foot that wasn't seeing play anyway. I've dropped the 2 dodges, mainly as penance, I think, for having misplayed last time and forgetting, which I'm sure I knew at one point, that dodge does not actually synergize with Daniela's wrench. It synergizes with Daniela's ability, but as you, sir, correctly pointed out to me, if you've dodged and canceled an attack, it does not count as an attack that has actually happened for her wrench capabilities. And I've dropped 1 Flesh Ward, mainly because of its cost. Since I was clicking for resources at the very end, I do think, and there's essentially nothing else in the card pool that can give me more resources. Let's reduce the cost of the cards that I have and bring in, well, soak the cost 0. And the 1 ready for anything and the 1 hard boiled, those 1-ofs, I do think we're putting in a couple of more stronger cards here. And that is it for the deck. Now,
Cool.
the main event. This is the Drowned City edition of the Midnight Masks. I'm going to talk briefly through the changes, and then you, sir, will correct me on what I've gotten wrong. We have added the eastern rooftops and the western rooftops from the Drowned City, the Doom of Arkham, which you need to spend clues to enter but cannot be flooded. And through the wizardry of TTS, their connections all work perfectly now for all these other locations. We also have the ruined versions of Easttown, Rivertown, Miskatonic, and Southside, all also starting flooded. We're going to have flooding effects, and in particular, we have the Flood of Arkham beginning. As you leave to unmask the cultists Lita warned you about, another cataclysmic event begins in Arkham. The Miskatonic River has risen, and portions of the town are starting to flood. Whose story is this? And we
Yeah.
have your house and graveyard connected to the river town. Well, my house would be connected if I hadn't burned it down. It was going to be flooded anyway, so just putting it out of its misery, really. We'll see why the Rivertown Easttown abilities are now group limit once per round. I'm sure we'll see those shortly. At the end of the enemy phase, if there's any enemies in play, I have to pick one, and the nearest eligible location of that enemy will have its flood level increased. And at the end of the round, if I'm at a flooded location, I take a damage or a horror. And if it's fully flooded, I have to do that twice. Could be 1 and 1, could be 2 damage, could be 2 horror. And we also have adjustments to the encounter deck. We are taking out everyone's favorite Night Gaunts and the Night Gaunt Taxi and Locked Doors, and instead we've got a bunch of treacheries from the Drowned City, including these pilgrims who will be alongside the acolytes. So we've got 200% more cultists in the encounter deck, which is interesting. And this pilgrim leader, if they spawn, that's going to be particularly spicy, I think, for its effects on the entire table. But we'll see if and when that manifests.
So let me ask you real quick. Have you
Yes.
played The Drowned City?
I have not yet. So this
is a little bit of a remix of stuff that you haven't seen yet.
That's true.
But I can tell you that none of these things actually go together in the same scenario. Well, the cultists don't. So it's a little bit of a pick and choose of things that I thought would go cool together in this scenario rather than something you needed to have played a different scenario to understand.
And I appreciate that because, yes, I have yet to actually play the Drowned City, but I'm excited for this little teaser of some of the effects that are coming from this. All right. Other than that, the rest of Midnight Masks will still proceed as usual in terms of the agenda deck, in terms of our 5 cultists set aside and needing to spend clues to the unique cultists, that is, to put them on the board, and our goal being to find as many unique cultists as I can and add them to the victory display. So let me put these into the encounter deck and shuffle that up. These stay out. Let's just make sure that we haven't done anything else wrong. Nope, I don't think we have. And we do have a special goal here, an invitation to, which I can only flip if I manage to nail 4 or more of the unique cultists. Get them under cultists we interrogated. So do better than half is the goal.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Any other words of wisdom before I get right into it?
No, I didn't really test this in True Solo too much, so I don't know how it's going to go. I think it'll be fun to see.
Well, let's find out. And let's start with our opening hand. Interesting. So no crowbar or other asset. The interesting bit, I was debating if I got Look What I Found in my opening hand, whether I might keep it, because it is a ready-made answer for at least the graveyard. This is an unchanged location, so this at least I know how it works. And being able to get 2 clues early and get a cultist on the board early who then sort of guide the rest of what I'm doing, I feel like is maybe worth keeping.
My only comment on that is don't forget, and it's easy to, like the play pattern might be, depending on how you feel about this, a bit different, given that spotting the cultists means that there's an enemy on the board to flood locations.
That is very true. If I spawn yes, that is a very good point. So getting a cultist on board before I am equipped to go really deal with it will accelerate the flooding. That is fair. So, all right. Well, I appreciate those actual words of wisdom. I'd love
It's
to
not
keep
to say you shouldn't keep it, though. I would, but it's just the play pattern might end up being a lot different.
Yeah, I
so
may
we'll
not want to spend the clues. See, the issue, of course, is if I get the clues and then sit on them, I one false lead away from spilling them all over the table with Daniela's one book. So there's some definite tension there. You know what? I'm willing to accept regret. I am going to send this all back because there aren't any assets here, and I want some assets. It kills me to send back economy, but hey, hopefully I made the assets cheaper, so maybe I won't regret this too much.
I mean, we're supposed to find the crowbar, right?
We're supposed to find, well, here's, I guess, the deck preordained that I was going to get. Look what I found. Stop this deck. Oh, my goodness. Okay. All right. Well, we got an asset.
So,
Service revolver.
interesting question. about the lie and wait, right? Because now that
Yes.
kind of maybe texts for what I did with the scenario. I don't know.
I mean, it certainly texts for acolytes, um, which there are in the deck. So I will want to get this on the board early, and I probably just want to slam this down into Rivertown. Well, let's see what Ruined Rivertown has for us. 2 Shroud, 1 Clue. Spend an action to test Agility or Intellect 3 to open a drain and decrease the flood level of this or an adjacent location. Okay, normally once per game, group limit. Here it's group limit once per round. For me, it's never because my agility is 2 and my intellect is 1. So I don't see Daniela spending time on that. Okay. So the other issue is that since we've got Ruin Southside and Ruin Easttown, I don't really have a way to. I don't have a location where I can go to be able to play cards for cheaper or to dig through my deck for an ally or draw extra cards. I don't know what these new locations do, but I have to presume it's not anything as friendly as those. I do have, per your instructions, this version of Downtown is the Arkham Asylum, the location that heals horror. St. Mary's still heals damage. Northside is still pay money for clues. And Graveyard is 2 clues and a victory that, with low shroud. All right. So I think we do play the Service Revolver. Actually, if I'm going to draw, I might be drawing a card this turn.
So, given that you don't have any soak, I would attempt to not end your turn here.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Which, I mean, the only location I can get to in 1 move is the Graveyard. There is that willpower test.
Yep.
Which, with 1 mental trauma, I mean, 4 on 3, but we still have the Midnight Mass bag. That's only a better than even chance of passing that. It is not that great of a start. So I think what I'm going to do, let's see. If I move twice and get to Downtown, Easttown, Northside, this will have a cultist spawn and is connected to. The name cultist will spawn, of course, Downtown, Northside, Miskatonic, St. Mary's, and the Graveyard. I'm thinking about where to plunk my lion weight. Because Rivertown is an option because it is literally central, but I'd love for this to be at a location where one of the named cultists will spawn, so I can at least ping them, hopefully for N damage when they show up. I'm thinking Wolfman Drew in Downtown is, of course, the toughest, but I don't want to move 3 times. I think I may move through Miskatonic. Let's see. St. Mary's will be a Shroud 2 clue. Northside, I think, is Shroud 3. Okay, I think I'm going to move twice to Northside, drop my lion weight at Miskatonic on the way, and then play Service Revolver. I think that's where I have landed. So first action, let's move to Ruin Miskatonic and see what that's about. 5 Shroud, 1 clue. Can't be fully flooded. Okay. Can spend an action, discard up to 3 cards with intellect icons. For each card discarded this way, heal 1 horror from an investigator or ally asset here. Okay. I don't have that many intellect icons. I mean, I do actually have 2 cards that do that, but I also have a horror heal that I know is available up here in Downtown. Probably not going to use this. But I am going to spend 2 resources to lie in wait here, and hopefully that'll be relevant. Now I will move again. North side. Ah, right, it has 2 clues and victory 1. Well, while since I played the original Midnight Masks as opposed to Return, and can spend an action of 5 resources to gain 2 clues, once per game. All right, and last action, we are going to play the Service Revolver just in case an enemy shows up and we have something to help us deal with it. Okay, that's it for me. No enemies. We upkeep. What do you know?
Hey.
Lita Chandler. Turn
All right.
2, Lita Chandler.
You got this now.
1 of 6 doom. What's our encounter card? Deadly Torrent. Well, my location is unflooded, so this surges. So we'll see what that does maybe later. But instead we get, hey, look at this. An Acolyte. We'll spawn that Acolyte in this empty location. Wait a minute. I've set a trap at this location. I put a sign over one of the university buildings. Cult meeting here. But when you go in, there's actually no floor, and they fall in the river and die. Let's see if they fall for it. Testing. Now, I don't have any boost to my combat yet, so I'm just testing good old 5 against 3. But let's
6,
see
right?
if it works. I don't have lead in play yet.
Right, but the trap gives you +1.
Oh, the trap gives me +1. You're exactly right. 6 on 3. Skull is, well, actually -1, but that's plenty. Goodbye. Which button? Nope, that goes in the victory display. That's not what we want. All right, well, already Lion Weight has, well, I exhausted. Lion Weight has already done its job. Perfect.
Yeah, great.
Okay, well, let's play Lita Chandler. And I mean, I think I'm going to investigate and plan to use Look What I Found. But then, oh, hey, you know what I can do? I can play Glory, having defeated that Acolyte. Even though it's remote. I think I am going to do that. Step back a moment. I forgot that was a thing I could do because I'm not used to remote killing enemies. Okay, sounds good. All right. Now, I can't play Look What I Found yet, but we can next round. Or I could take a resource and then play it. You know what? I think that's what we're going to do. I am going to... I am, of course, thinking that Take Heart and Look What I Found synergize. I'll do the investigate, commit Take Heart, use Look What I Found. You're the master of survivor timing.
Yeah, you don't get the resources until after Look What I Found could be played.
Right. That's what I thought. My concern about possibly playing Lita, taking a resource, and then doing this is if I draw 2 cards as my last action, and one of them is the Silver Twilight Acolyte, again, I will feel very sad. So maybe I do that next round?
Yeah, might as well just dump the assets out, right?
Yeah. So I have 2 to play. I could draw a card normally, but then I'm inviting the same problem potentially, unless I draw first. But if I draw first, and it's, again, the Acolyte, I have Vicious Blow. I could just punch it twice. That feels bad, but I have 26 cards. I'm going to not be scared of my weakness. We're going to draw a card. Hey, a choice. Well, not really, because Greta costs 5. We're going to play Lita. Once Lita gets banged up, maybe I'll replace her with Greta. But right now we're playing Lita, and we're playing our leather coat, and that's it. Okay, no enemies. We upkeep. Hey,
there it
look
is.
at that. Everything's coming up, Daniela. 2 of 6 doom. Our encounter card is...
Okay.
Oh, this should have readied. Now we're going to use it. 7 on 3.
You didn't take that sign down.
No,
it's still there.
It is still there, and the floor is still not there. 7 on 3. 0's a pass. Goodbye.
All right. Let me look to
Thank you.
see if this is just stacked with 3 cultists on top.
Thank you,
All
game,
right.
for validating my proof of concept. All right. Now we're going to investigate, and we will commit to take heart. We're testing 1 against 3. -1 is a fail. I will spend 2 resources to play. Look what I found. I think, I mean, yes, that's Shroud 5, but this is a victory point. I think I do want these clues first, because I want that victory point. And then we draw 2 cards and gain 2 resources. Okay.
Looking
All
good.
right. Looking good. Okay. I don't want to play the Derringer yet. I want to play Crowbar once I have 1 more resource. I could take a resource and then play it. I could. I am thinking about if I want to spawn a cultist. Now, that will, of course, start to increase flood levels. No, probably better to do that as my first action so they then have a means to go do something about it. So, I think instead we could move. Could move to downtown. See what East Town is all about. There's also the rooftops, but I gotta spend a clue to get into the rooftops. Honestly, since it is so important that I get the Crowbar online, I think better to just take that resource and then play it. And then we're ready for whatever comes up. Okay, no enemies. We upkeep. Evidence. There we go. Go beat down a cultist and get a reward for it. Okay, 3 of 6 doom. Gross plasticity. Peril. This is another new for me, Drown City card. So either I can Ancient Evils myself, because that's what the Midnight Masks needs. I can increase my location's flood level, or each investigator takes 1 damage or 1 horror. Well, for me, the choice is obvious. We are going to put damage on. We'll put it on the leather coat. I was thinking,
Since
do I
this
want
is
to put?
peril, you can't consult with me, can you?
No, that we are no. I was genuinely thinking, should I put it on Lita, because eventually she might go and be replaced with Greta. But the reason I'm putting it on the leather coat is because Crypt Chill is a thing, and a leather coat with 3 damage on it is a perfect target for failing Crypt Chill. So that's that.
This card doesn't do too much in solo, huh?
No, every card that is each investigator suffers some negative effect is much less of a problem in solo. Same for Return to the Gathering. That effect, that location, test willpower
Yeah.
4, for every point you fail by, everyone discards cards. In solo, you move into the hallway, you probably lose cards there from the act flip, and then you head straight for the attic, and maybe you have to lose cards again from your probably now empty hand.
Yeah.
So, as it is, things are going well. All right, let's mess that up completely by spending an action and 2 clues to see what our first cultist is. Well, what do you know? Victoria Devereaux, who spawns with me at Northside. I swear I didn't stack that. You just saw
No,
me shuffle it.
I saw that too. Everything's
Okay.
coming up Daniela right now.
So far, so far. Now, the only thing is, of course, I'm not getting a clue for defeating her unless I move and take an attack of opportunity, which will trigger Service Revolver. So maybe we do exactly that and then punch her in a location where we want that clue. And maybe we head to
Sure.
downtown. Oh, I should remember. Is this a victory point? I think it is. I think this is also a victory point. So, yeah. Let's move downtown. Victoria doesn't like that. She'll punch me for a damage, which will go on the leather coat. And then I will use the service revolver, and we are testing 7 against 3. I don't want a vicious blow because then she'll be defeated before I've actually moved, and I won't be able to use evidence. So we're just doing that straight up, 7 on 3. Oh, sneaky! All right, game. You do have some teeth. That's fine. I'd rather auto-fail someone who doesn't have retaliate. We do still move to downtown. 4 shroud, 2 clues. I can spend an action to heal 3 horror, and it is a victory point. That's fine. Get on her.
No, it's gone now.
All right.
You have your crowbar.
Well, I do have crowbar, so I can just beat her with the crowbar and vicious blow. And then the enemy phase, when she attacks me, I can Daniela defeat her and do what I want to do that way. So let's do that. We're going to crowbar this woman. 8 against 3, commit vicious blow, 9 on 3. Much better. She gets a doom, which is not long for this world, but she also gets 2 damage. Enemy phase, she attacks me. I'll put that on leather coat, and Daniela does a damage back, and then she goes to the victory display. That's not the right button. That's the right button. I'm learning. And now, let's play evidence and get one of these clues.
Very nice.
Sounds good. Okay. No enemies. We upkeep. Emergency cache. I mean, that's a step closer to replacing Lita with Greta, eventually, when I might need that. Leather coat is almost done, so maybe. All right. Mythos, 4/6. Counter card. Another new one. Ominous Silence. As an additional cost to play a card, I have to spend a resource or take a horror. Action, test agility 3. To discard this, if your location is not flooded, it automatically succeeds. Well, I'm getting lucky in the sense of preventing extra flooding from happening, so let's just get rid of that, I think. Yeah, let's test to get rid of that. And my location is not flooded, so that automatically succeeds. Okay. We can crowbar this for 7 on 4. And I do think that's what we do. And then probably play eCash. Here we go.
It's just 6, right?
Just 6, right, because it does not get a boost other than being able to use Fist. Yes, you are correct. 6 on 4, which is still
Pretty good.
pretty good. For an investigate, that's pretty good. All right, 6 on 4. That's a pass. We get another clue and another victory point. Again, I don't want to spawn a cultist on my last action when I can't do anything about it, but I'm fine playing emergency cache because I'm sure going to need those resources at some point. All right, no enemies. We upkeep. Second, look what I found. All right, you love to see it.
It's going well.
It is going well. Now, I do have, of course, the Masked Hunter about to spawn in a round, and I mean, that's going to cause some hurt. Let's see what our encounter card is. We're 5 of 6 Doom.
Boy, you've gotten very lucky here.
This is real silly. But we are going to continue to do it. We are showing
Good thing
off.
you didn't go back to the university. You were thinking about going that way.
I was, but I don't want to stay here. This is
No.
a terrible place. There's no floor here. All right. I'm going to attack this person again. Now we're 7 on 3. Yeah, seems good. Oh, my goodness. What a concept. Too bad that we're in the witching hour and this doom actually doesn't matter right now.
Correct. He will flood a connecting location, though.
He will, yes. Which could
Maybe that's
be not the rooftops, but any one of the others. Okay. Unless I run over there and beat him over the head.
You could, kind of up to you. I'm not really sure one way or the other.
I could do. Reason I'm considering that is that then when the masked hunter spawns, he can also fall into my trap. Let's math that out.
I like how that there's like 2 bodies in there, and the third cultist is like, nah, I see what this trap is.
I think he still fell in, but the stacked bodies meant that he didn't die. He fell like 2 feet. It's like, huh. Let's see. Now, if I do go over there, I will take a damage or a horror because my location will be flooded.
Mm-hmm.
I could also... I'm thinking whether that's worth it. Masked Hunter has 6 health. I do still have 4 damage worth of Service Revolver, but I don't know that I want Masked Hunter to hit me twice. I think it does 2 damage. I mean, Lita can take 2 of it, and Daniela can take 2 of it, so maybe that is something that I do. If I go there, because I do have Greta, I could put Horror on Lita. I am considering it. Because I do have these victory points now. And let's see, what's my other option? I could spawn a cultist. But no, I think I'd rather do that when there aren't any threats on the board or about to be on the board. I think I go kill this thing. And then plan to use my trap. I'd use up my trap, I guess. And then Service Revolver twice. I'll be shooting at 7. I think he's 4, so 7 on 4. And then maybe I don't use up my trap. Maybe I crowbar him. Okay. Yeah, I think that's what we're going to do. We're going to move 5 resources for 2 clues. That's also something I could do. No, that's Gret money. All right, we're going to move twice. I am going to do this. Just so that we're not dealing with the extra flooding, and we don't have something that could get like extra doom from mysterious chanting or the cultist token pull.
Yeah.
So, and now we're going to, we brought this crowbar, we're going to use it. We're testing 8 against 3, and -1 is a pass. This guy's defeated. Okay.
He had to come inspect the trap and say, all right, this guy's hanging around still, but that can't last too long.
I had a secondary system that rang a bell if it didn't actually kill someone, and I heard it and just came running on over. Absolutely. All right. No enemies. We upkeep. Okay. Now it's interesting. Now.
Oh, yeah, this is ready now.
That is ready. So maybe I use it on this guy as opposed to the Masked Hunter. Masked Hunter is about to show up, so I'm going to be taking some damage next round no matter what I do. But if I discard the trap for this guy and deal 2 damage, I can finish him with the crowbar next round. I could then... Here's a question. Once this Service Revolver is down to 1 bullet, if I go to play this new Derringer while an enemy is engaged with me,
Yeah, that'll work.
That will work. This will use up the bullet before it gets bumped out of the slot. All right. I am going to use the trap, and I am going to discard the trap to try to do 2 damage to this guy. So we are testing 7 against 2. +1 seems good. We'll do 2 damage to this guy. All right. And then we take a horror, because our location is flooded, which will go on Lita. Or it could be damage, but I'm going to put horror on Lita. All right. Now the fun truly begins. Oh, I could have just clicked advance. I'm not used to that yet. I will be. The Masked Hunter spawns engaged with me. Fight 4, health 4 +2 is 6, evade 2. While engaged with him, I can't discover spam clues. Does 2 damage and a horror. I forgot he did horror. Okay. All right, well, I only do have 1 cultist so far. This will be 2, hopefully. That's not too terribly off pace in my experience from Midnight Masks. Okay, now, what's our encounter card and how badly is it going to mess us up? Hunting Shadow. Spend a clue or take 2 damage. I probably have enough soak. Leathercoat still could get exiled eventually. Nothing on Daniela. Yeah, I'll take that too. And I will put it on Lita, even though I'm about to be... Let's see, how much am I going to be taking from this guy, though? If I defeat the Silver Twilight Acolyte, how exactly is her thing worded? After an enemy attacks you. Yeah, that would happen first, because it's forced instead of a reaction.
The good thing is that Lita doesn't do her extra damage in this version of the scenario. There's no monsters.
Yes, so she is less important to keep around when I have Greta waiting in the wings. 2. Thing is, this guy could be attacking me 3 times this round, which is a lot. 6 damage and 3 horror. Lita can absorb 3 damage and 2 horror of that. So that leaves me with 3 and 1. Leather coat. 3, 1. Another 2. I am about to get Greta. Oh, I'm also going to take horror from this. What is my plan clue-wise? I've only gotten 4, and I want to spawn at least 3 more cultists. No, excuse me, at least 2 more cultists after defeating Masked Hunter. That is the goal, to get 4. Okay. I am thinking about potentially spending a clue. Just because we're going to be eating through so much of this. And I do have a look what I found ready to get 2 more clues. But what else is going to do that much damage to me? More copies of this. 2, 1. Leathercoat can take 1 more. Nah, heck it. I'm taking the damage. Probably the wrong move. Whoops. Yeah, I know, Lita. You are concerned that you're... Oh my goodness, that you're not going to be long for this world. For this? Come on. What is happening? There we go. Perfect. Good. Probably an incorrect play, but it is the play I've chosen.
That is the play I would have done as well.
Well, I appreciate that. All right, so let's crowbar this acolyte, this untimely acolyte. We're 8 on... Do I just punch? I guess it doesn't matter. 6 on 2.
You could punch and save the crowbar for the. Well, I don't know what you're using for the masked hunter. Just the revolver? I don't know.
Yeah, I'll just punch. There's no reason to use the crowbar. 6 on 2. Skull is actually 0, so good. That guy at least is defeated. 6 health, huh? Service revolver can do 2. Excuse me, it can do 4. When he attacks during my turn, I can do 1 more. That'll leave him with 1 health. I unfortunately don't have enough to defeat him in 1 round because of this bozo. I could.
I mean, potentially you can draw some cards and maybe get the vicious blow.
That is true. That is true. I could spend one of my actions to do that. The other thing I could do, though, is move. St. Mary's lets me heal 3 damage.
Yep.
That is a thing I could do. Because if I draw, I shoot, that does 2 damage. Say I already have used 1 vicious blow, so it's a 1 in 18 chance. That would be enough to defeat him. I think what I'd rather do is move to St. Mary's. That way, also, I don't get pinged from the flooding. Well, I will, then St. Mary's will start to flood, right?
Yeah, you will anyway, but it's still okay.
Yeah, it is where I can heal the damage. I think that's what I want to do. And then also, that'll spawn another clue, and the Shroud 2, so I can look what I found there to get these 2 clues. All right, I take the attack opportunity first. So, 2 damage and a horror. We'll put the horror on Lita. We'll put the 2 damage on Daniela. We will use the service revolver. So we're testing 7 against 4. We're 3 up. -2 is a pass, so that's 2 damage. And now we move down to St. Mary's Hospital, which is the standard 2 Shroud, 1 Clue, spend an action to heal 3 damage. Now I am going to play the Derringer, which does trigger another attack of opportunity, another 2 damage and 1 horror, which will go on Daniela. But I get to do the service revolver shot. Again, 7 on 4. We're 3 up. Tablet's -3, so we pass. That's another 2 damage. Then the empty service revolver gets kicked out and replaced by the Derringer. Okay. Now this guy attacks. 2 damage and a horror. I will be able to do a damage back to him with Daniela. I think I let Lita go on this attack since I can play Greta next round. So Lita goes, a damage on Daniela. Daniela does a damage back. This guy has 1 health left. Down to 5. Yes, this location does become partially flooded. We upkeep.
I promise I didn't know.
Look.
I promise I didn't look.
I have nothing to complain about luck-wise with all the Acolyte polls. It's fine. It's hilarious. And I'm sure that this will be of good use against something else.
Yeah.
All right. And now I do take a damage or a horror. Do I exile the leather coat? Or do I take...
Next card's going to be Crypt Chill.
You're right. I shouldn't exile the leather coat. You're exactly right. Since I probably will heal 3 damage, I will take a damage. Okay. Nonsense. All right. We're 1 of 8 Doom. What's our encounter card?
Well,
this time I'll spend a clue. Fine
Ooh.
Game. You got me. It's Arkham Horror, the card game, a living card game by Fantasy Flight Games. Probably better than drawing another enemy at this point. It's probably, fine.
Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute. I can't.
Oh, you can't spend clues.
I can't spend clues. The coat is getting exiled, and Daniela
Wow.
is down to 1 health. I
I didn't
did
even think
not.
about that.
I have never. I've never seen this guy's effect matter.
That's cool. I like that.
That's hilarious. All right. Well, let's kill this guy.
Soak
uh,
for days, huh?
Soak for days. I mean, we are going to heal, so that's fine. I guess we crowbar. Um,
I think you have to, yeah.
yeah, I think 3 up. He doesn't retaliate. That's fine. 7 on.
Oh, so you have your clue back, right?
Oh, that's right. Yes, thank you. Small consolation, but yes. That's really funny. All right, 7 on 4. Hey, there we go. Crowbar did its job. Come on. There we go. Come on. There we go. All right. Let's use the hospital to not be on the brink of death.
It's funny, though, the crowbar's job was to get clues, and it hasn't done that yet.
I got one, didn't
You got
I?
one?
I got one
Oh, yeah.
from downtown.
6 of 4.
Yes.
Yep, yeah. Okay.
Yes. All right. Now, I could play Greta. If I play Greta, then I am taking another damage or horror. Horror could go on Greta from still being at a flooded location. But the other alternative is to move to the rooftops where I'll need to spend a clue to get there, which seems, well, seems counterproductive. I'm going to play Greta. I'm going to play Greta because I don't think there's that much other sources of horror in the deck. So I'm comfortable putting a horror on her from the flood. And I want to get my ally back online. Okay. All right. No enemies on the board. We upkeep. Guts. All right. I'm ready for Crypt Chill now. I'll take a horror, which will go on Greta. Okay. The situation has stabilized, question mark. We're at 2 of 8 doom. What can we do with the rest of this? Mysterious chanting. So I get to bring back an acolyte. Unfortunately, we are no longer lying in wait. Fortunately, I could go kill him and use Greta to get a clue. So I think I do want one of the bog standard acolytes back from the discard. Where am I going to put it?
Yeah, that part's a challenge. You cleared out the unflooded locations already.
Other than the graveyard.
True.
I could.
That's your other source of horror. But you have the guts now.
I do have guts now, yes. So that'd be 6 on 3. That's true. I can use it for that. What I'm thinking about is investigating with Look What I Found to get this clue and this clue. Like if I put him at Rivertown, I haven't even been to Southside. That probably has a clue. Because if I last action move in on the Acolyte, then he'll do a damage, but then Daniela will just testlessly kill him. And I can use Greta to get another clue. It's only one location that floods, chooses an enemy in play. I could also put him somewhere that I'm eventually going to go, because I'd also love to spawn a cultist. Let's think this through, because if I use Look What I Found, get these 2 clues. Maybe I don't Look What I Found yet. Maybe I'll spawn a cultist instead and see which one it is. So it's going to be here, 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 or here. And I could put this guy somewhere that I don't care as much. All right, Easttown can't be fully flooded. If I spawn a cultist, one, two. If I spawn a cultist and it's Ruth Turner, I would want to actually spawn her last action so that she can attack me and then I can automatically evade her and get rid of her instantly.
That's cool. I like that.
If it's Peter Warren, I could, if I spawn him first, I could then move in and shoot him with the Derringer with Vicious Blow and defeat him that way. Or shoot him with the Derringer and then let him hit me for one and finish him off that way.
And if you put the cultist there, then they both can die.
That is true. That is very true. And this location, right, this can't be fully flooded. I could let this flood somewhere that I mean, am I ever going to Southside? No one spawns at Southside. Maybe I don't care about Southside.
You also throw them up in the rooftops. You choose a different location to flood.
I do want. I'm not sure about the roof because I have to spend a clue to enter them. That feels a little negative tempo. I guess I don't know what they do. But if I spawn him at the rooftops, like I am going to want to go kill him eventually so he doesn't lose me around.
Yeah, you'd have to go kill him this round, basically.
All right, I'm going to put him at Miskatonic so that I have the option of dealing with him right away this round. Okay. Now, if I spawn a cultist first, that's good if it's Peter Warren. Less good if it's Ruth Turner.
And if it's Wolfman Drew or Herman Collins, that's nothing you can do about that.
Yeah, I mean, I still have to do it. Let's see who it is. Let's stop having and hawing with spawn a cultist. Who is it? It's Peter Warren.
Hey, I didn't know. I promise I didn't know.
All right, let's move in and do all this. So Peter Warren engages. This acolyte engages. All right.
The best of all worlds here. You get the clue too, potentially.
So we're gonna shoot this man with my Derringer. Now, he only does a damage. But if I let them both hit me, I can get the clue with Greta. That is true. And then I'll still need to look what I found somewhere, but that does... Well, I guess the look what I found is less vital since I do have the crowbar.
You also don't have the resources yet. I mean, you will in the future, but...
Yeah. Do
you have a Flesh Ward in this deck? No.
I do.
Oh, you do have
a
one
Flesh Ward, yes. I also have a Cherished Keepsake, so horror is not really what I'm that concerned about. It is, of course, the damage. I'm debating whether to use Greta's ability to get the clue. I probably should. Daniela will be down to 2. I mean, I will no longer have an effect that will prevent me from being able to spend a clue when I draw Hunting Shadow. So there's that. And there is a second copy of Greta in this deck. So there's also that. So with that in mind, let's shoot Peter Warren with the Derringer. We are testing, we're back up to 6 thanks to Greta. So we're testing 8 against 2. And we'll say Vicious Blow. -2. So we do 2 damage. All right. Now the enemy phase. They both hit me for a damage, which will both go on Daniela. They both die. Nope, wrong. I will remember my hotkeys eventually. And we will use Greta to pick up this clue. Okay, now upkeep, service revolver. We do take, it's going to be a horror, and it will go on Daniela because our location is still flooded. And we proceed. We're 3 of 8. We've got 3 of 6. If I can get at least one more, let's see, that'll be good, and more after that'll be gravy. Obscuring
Ooh, that's good.
fog.
Very good.
Round 7 that no one cares about. Thank you, game. Okay. Now that we have a moderately free hand, what are we going to do about it? Investigate somewhere with Look What I Found and Take Heart feels like a good option. So maybe I move twice to the graveyard, use guts for that, and then investigate there. Do I use the Look What I Found there? I guess, I mean, 1-on-1, it is only Shroud 1, I think, right? That's a just over a third chance of happening. That's probably still worth throwing the Take Heart into. All right, well, let's move over there and see how we do with the willpower test. So, test willpower 3. If you fail, either take 2 horror, move to Rivertown. Hopefully we'll pass. We are testing 6 against 3 with guts. Yeah. -3,
Yeah.
an exact pass. And we get an overpower. Okay. And now...
Now, let me caution you about your mob coons that, might show up here.
Oh, that's very true. If I take heart, I could regret that quite a bit because their damage is direct. That's a very good point. So maybe I just crowbar this and then crowbar it again next round. Or I could just investigate and plan to play Look What I Found and not use Take Heart.
Also
I got
possible.
14 cards left, so it's what? A 1 in 7 chance of pulling the mob goons? Yeah, that's not...
Well, yeah, because you pulled 2 cards. That's not good. And that's, how do you get booted out of the scenario pretty quick, right?
Yeah. Yeah, okay. I am just going to investigate because I'm still happy using... Do I? Okay, hold on. I have
You
one
can grab
clue.
the clue from Rivertown, right? And then crowbar for the last one.
That is very true. Yes. Then I'll have 3, 4. That's enough to spawn 2 more cultists. And that's probably sufficient. I doubt I'm going to get a full clear. I guess I might. I guess it depends on if I get Herman Collins and able to throw a bunch of cards at him.
Yeah.
All right. We are going to investigate just 1 against 1 and plan to play Look What I Found. But yes, that's a good point. I will use to get the Rivertown clue. Or we just pass. Because skulls are 0. That's fine too. Okay. No enemies. We upkeep. Hey, the wrench. Might not see play.
I feel like you don't have enough soak to take too many more hits at this point, though.
Yeah, not unless I draw into second grit. So yeah, it might just be a commit, which is fine. Okay, 4 of 8 doom. Hey, one of these. So fight 2, health 2 of 8, 2. Does spawn engaged with me. After it attacks, we put a doom on it. I think we're just shooting them. So
yeah, if it attacks you, it's just going to die anyway. So that doesn't really matter too much.
Yeah, we're just going to shoot this guy. Greta's soak is probably more important, kept this soak. So let's shoot this person. We are 8 against 2. Boom, dead. I should probably spawn a cultist. And if it's Herman Collins, then I have an action to throw him a bunch of cards. If it's not, then yes, somewhere will start to become flooded. But hopefully, like, it'll be either downtown or St. Mary's.
That should be okay.
Yeah, I think so. So let's see who we get. Wolfman Drew. Okay. 442. Heals when he attacks. Okay. I have 1 bullet left on this, but I also have Vicious Blow. Okay. All right. So we're going to investigate again. 1 against 1. Look what I found is not going to trigger. It's fine. All right. Enemy phase. So Wolfman Drew's location is now flooded. Okay. And we upkeep. Second Lion Wait.
Maybe.
Okay. Mythos. 5 of 8. Ooh, I only have 3 rounds left. Come on, let's get 1 more.
All 3, huh?
I do have a clue.
Yeah.
I think I have to spend it. It's fine.
I think so too.
Yeah. All right. Fine. Okay.
A little tricky though. You have to position yourself.
I do. So
You do have 7 victory points though. That's really good.
that is true. I want a 4th one though. I want to be able to flip this card. Wolfman Drew does 2 damage. I do have Vicious Blow. If I could, I'm thinking about moving to East Town and investigating here, and maybe finally firing off, look what I found. Wolfman Drew's location will then become fully flooded. If I move... 2 damage is a lot. 2, 3... Then I could move in on him the following round, shoot him, crowbar him with Vicious Blow, but then I will be taking a damage and a horror, or 2 damage or 2 horror. I guess it could be horror, and then I could heal it, but then I'm going to be taking a damage. This is the math of soak. Clearly, I should have kept some more in here, but there is more in here. Just hasn't been drawn. Okay.
Yeah.
The
other thing you could do is like ignore him and then try to get 2 more clues. Ugh, that's rough though.
It is a fair point though, because the other 2 will show up here and back here,
back
and
in
they
there.
are much easier to handle. 1, 2. Everywhere is flooded. That's the thing. Other than the graveyard itself. Man, those zeros.
Yeah, that did make it kind of tough.
So if I go to East Town, assuming this is Shroud 2 or 3, which I'm guessing it probably is, and I investigate...
You could also go heal some horror if you want to go to the university.
Oh, that has a horror heal effect. That is true. And I have... Well, I have 2... the wrench also is a wild.
The trap as well, yeah. I don't know, it's an option.
It is an option. If I move to East Town and look what I found there, then I will take a damage or a horror. Say I make it a horror. Then next round I could move in. Wolfman Drew's location will become fully flooded. I can move in on him. I could should be able to defeat him with the Derringer and with the Crowbar and Vicious Blow. But then I will take...
Do you have an action to resign after that?
2. No. No, I don't. But I do have another round after that. Doom is not the issue.
Okay.
I think I probably go... I guess I don't need to look what I found then. If I'm not going to try to get another cultist, and with only... Yeah, with only 3 rounds left...
Yeah, if you could have afforded to keep that last clue, I think you could have, but I don't think you could have. We pulled 3 Hunting Shadows. Jeez. That's 6 damage on its own.
That is 6 damage on its own, unless... What if I went to Southside and used Look What I Found There? That would get 2 clues. And then I would take a damage or horror. Greta could
basically use Gret for soak. Yeah.
Yes. Then we round 6, and I can spawn another cultist who is either Ruth, who is just move in as my last action, and she takes care of herself, or it's Herman, in which case I could move to Rivertown, wait there. I wouldn't have enough actions to move in and spend the cards, but then in the last round, I could move in, spend the cards, and resign.
As long as you don't take the horror from failing that test, right? Maybe you'll be okay.
Well, rules point, though. This is after I enter. After I enter. So after Herman has engaged me, right? So if I fail the test and move back to Rivertown, he's still with me.
Oh, that's true. You can just bring him back.
Yes.
Okay. You've already gotten the clues. It's a good point.
Yes. Maybe that's the play. And not bother with Wolfman Drew at all. Just let him break all the pipes and flood the asylum completely.
Yeah.
I think I like that. I think I like that better. All right. So we will move once, twice. Not doing the university because it's Shroud 5. Hopefully this isn't. Let's see what Ruined Southside is. Shroud 3. Perfect. Oh! Oh, my leather coat's not in my discard because it's exiled. I can't pull that back. That's pretty funny, though. All right. And now we will investigate. We are testing 1 against 3. And there we go. That's the fail we're looking for. Look what I found. What I found is 2 clues. And probably doesn't matter. I'll get it from Southside and I guess St. Mary's. That's fine. Okay, good. Enemy phase. Wolfman Drew makes his place entirely flooded. Upkeep. And evidence. A little late. That's fine. Now I take a damage or a horror. I think it's a horror. I think that's fine. All right, Mythos. We are at 6 of 8 Doom. Wolfman Drew gets 2 Doom. And I am on my last turn. Okay. Well, I have a 50-50 shot. No, I can't. I don't have the round now.
Nope. That's sad, but that's mysterious chanting for you.
That is mysterious chanting for me. I should have gone after Wolfman Drew. Well.
So if you lie in wait, you could move here, spawn, maybe kill her. Does she have 3 health?
I think she has 4.
Let me look it up elsewhere.
Yeah, I don't. I
You're
won't have.
correct. It is
I won't
4.
have an
It's
action
4.
to.
If it were 3, then you could get her, but otherwise.
Yeah. Ah,
Well,
well.
yeah. Oh well. Very close.
Very close. 7 is still good, victory point wise. I mean, what it was
Might as
1
well
out of
spawn her
15
anyway.
counter
Let's
cards.
see.
I guess. Sure. Let's see who we got. Let's see who it was. Yep.
Yeah. It's only a fight. If it were an evade, now you still couldn't probably not pass that test.
If I were chapter 2 Daniela, I could make it work.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you could get it. You just will have the negative issue from
Yeah, no, that is not worth it. Losing 2 cards at random from your opening hand and Devour
Yeah.
below. No, that's just giving up. All right, last action, we resign. That's fine. I don't get the special effect on this. I am curious what it is. So I'm going to take a big fat look. It is, of course, an invitation. So you could pay your experience cost for Film Fatale or Midwinter Gala after playing instead of before it. Okay. Fine. I guess I'll just have to pay it up front, like some pleb.
Some normal schlub.
Like some normal person who works now at a meatpacking facility. All right. Well, that's fine. That was a lot of fun. Not nearly as effective as your impacts is showing. Oh well. But for solo, for some cards, I'm curious what these rooftops do. You can fight and evade enemies at connecting locations as if you were at their location.
Could have helped.
Interesting. I don't think that would have been helpful for what I'm doing. That's more helpful in multiplayer, I can see.
It is, but if you manage to make it up here, I mean, it's got the clue to refund, and then you spawn any of these 3 cultists that are on the side, then you can take care of them. You kind of have to collect the clues first, but then you can take some shots. But this guy, Wolfman Mandrew, is a little bit of a tough pickle. You also, I mean, so one question I've always had with this is, did the locations flood enough to make a difference? And I think given in solo that they don't flood too much, you still were feeling the pressure because of the hunting shadows.
100%. But even, I mean, I was taking hits from the flooding. I had to.
Yeah, and I think the Acolyte, Solar Twilight Acolyte, kind of put you behind.
Yeah. Sometimes your random basic weakness is exactly what your deck isn't good at handling, and that is unfortunately the case. I mean, I didn't draw my mob goons. I'm curious how close they were to the top. They were the 3rd card down, right after 2nd Greta Wagner.
So there's 2 copies of this Something in the Water where you just surge increase the flood level. You didn't run into this, but that was another way to up the pressure a bit.
100%. No, I enjoyed this. Very well done. Very well put together, sir. I am.
Thank you.
I'm gonna have to see. I have to see what the other versions are like. I know. I mean, obviously, you and Pax played the Carcosa version. I think it's Head Librarian is playing the Circle Undone version with his recordings, his audio recordings. I don't think he's played it yet, or hasn't posted it yet.
I haven't seen it yet. That one's tough. That one, it just replaces a bunch of the normal enemies with the Silver Twilight Lodge enemies, and
those guys are.
they're interesting because they're aloof, so you can leave them alone, but you maybe shouldn't.
Yeah. Especially with cards that'll just plunk 2 Doom on them from across the map.
And I've also thrown what's it called, the Mysteries Lodge card in there to add more Doom.
Yep. Another toughie.
Yep. But it all works well. I think this one works pretty well too. I'm pleased with you're showing, even if it's just 3 cultists. I think it did kind of what we hoped for.
Yep, 100%. It would have been 4 had it not been for some bad beats at the end, and that's Arkham Horror, the card game, which I hear is a living card game by Fantasy Flight Games. So, with that, we come out with 7 XP. I will spend however much I need for either Midwinter Gala or Film Fatale, which also I have not yet played either of. So I'm looking forward to that. Are you putting any spin on those as well for us to look forward to? No. Okay.
No, they're just play them straight up. I figure that I've done enough damage in this one.
Well, I'm looking forward to it regardless. And I'm looking forward to, I'm sure there is a spin on the Devourer below. No comment. Good.
No comment.
Excellent. Well, I'm going to stop things here. Thank you again, sir, for being on and watching on this ride. And thank you even more for setting all this up, because it is a blast.
Thanks for having me on.
All right. Until next time, take it easy, everyone.